Hello. Welcome to Darshan. Oh, here you all come. Hello, hello, hello. Que divinas. You're from everywhere. Hello, Colombia. Hello, everyone. Argentina. Everywhere, everywhere, everywhere. Chile. Hello, 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 hello. Beautiful. Okay, let's close our eyes. And I'm going to go deep into a place of consciousness. Going down, 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 down. Om, the profound depth of being. Down into the ground. Like a big oak spreading its roots. Om, the profound depth of being. Finding that place of silence, that place of unity, and then slowly breathing in, bringing that energy up to our hearts. Love creates me in my perfection. Love creates me in my perfection. And then slowly open my eyes. Okay, questions?
Nicholas asked, what do you think about all this that is happening? Do you feel it's a necessary step for a jump in consciousness? Everybody's seeing this as a big tragedy. And in my heart, I feel it's going to make us more humane, to be in love and in compassion.
You know, the thing is that we think a different way because we're focused on consciousness. So we use every moment as an opportunity to be more love, more compassion, and to go inwards. Why do we feel this? Because we feel that we're creating everything in every moment. And every adversity in our lives has a positive aspect. You know, I can use this moment as a gift, or I can use this moment and feel like a victim. Everything's going wrong. I don't feel safe. I can't trust. I'm afraid. Well, those thoughts are always present because you're like that. It's just that now you have to stop and look, because this is reality. When I cannot distract myself, this is reality. I am fragile, I don't have security, I could lose everything. But where is that? It's here. Now, if you have consciousness, you take everything as an opportunity to find more love. What do I feel in this moment? Yeah, I'm afraid. But I'm going to go deeper. And I'm going to find this place where I can start to trust. I'm going to find this place of silence that connects me with everything, beyond the fears of my intellect, beyond the fears of the media, beyond the dual ideas of what is going to transpire. Because the truth is, no one knows. I know one thing. this too will pass, and humanity will evolve. Because humanity will have to think, what do I value? What is important? And really, the things that are important are fundamental and basic. Air, water, love, the planet, consciousness, unity. These things are important. And it's in the middle of these tragedies or growth in consciousness that we start to see how brave people can be or how stupid they can be. So you need to decide, do you want to be the essence of growth? Do you want to be positive, giving to the world, using this opportunity to expand love, to expand consciousness? Or do you want to be blaming the outside? And it's moments like this that define us. They define who we are. You know, when the sun's shining and everything's calm, it's easy to be calm. But when you're insecure, when you're full of fear, do you have trust? Do you trust? And this is what you have to ask yourself. You know, whenever we stop, we heal. Whenever we stop, we go in. It could be an injury. It could be a sickness. It could be a loss. It could be a virus. But always, something changes. And if it changes for the good or for the worst, that's in your hands. That's your choice. Yes, the economy is fragile. Everything external is fragile. Our bodies are fragile. Are you fragile? No. Not when you find something that's real. And that's love consciousness.
Irene is asking. Isha, can you explain what you talk about when you say programming?
When we create separation or duality, we have two aspects. We have a positive aspect and a negative aspect. The negative aspect is based in ego. The positive aspect is based in love. But many things transpire in our lives. And those things create our fears. These fears are our programs. They have positive aspects and they have aspects that don't serve us, that take us into drama, take us into suffering. There are aspects that are repetitive, like we always believe the same things. We're always focused on the same dramas. We take things from our families and then we incorporate them into every aspect of our lives. And they're programs. They come from the mind and what's transpired. And we think that they're truths. When we start to heal, we start to perceive our ideas more openly, more innocently, with not so much conviction. And we start to see the fragility of what we believe, and that a lot of it isn't sustained with love. It's sustained with fear. And it always takes us to the same point. It always takes us to the victim. So we have to look at our ideas. We have to question our programs. We have to see, why am I like that? And we have to love those aspects, but we have to mature beyond those aspects. And it's easy to do when you have love consciousness. When you can anchor in a place that's so still, that's so open to receive, you can start to see what serves and what doesn't, what's immature and what's based in growth, what's based in responsibility and what's based in victimism. It's in your hands. Which aspects of my programs serve me in this life, and which aspects of programs always take me back to a place of suffering. This is what we have to see.
Tenemos que ver. Narda is asking, "Hi Isha, I'm a doctor. With this experience, I have been in an emotional roller coaster, thanks to this wonderful system. I was able to feel each day the fear and go back to my consciousness. I go and come, but I've seen that all my fears take me to the same place, the fear of death. It doesn't matter how much I feel I trust, that intensity of fear comes." Can you tell me something?
Well, because you're a doctor, you're in the firing line, no? You know, you have to be supporting people that are sick, and you're aware of their vulnerability, but more importantly, your vulnerability. And really, you have to see the loop. There's a loop in life. And we're always worrying about dying. But you need to look at how that affects us from living. Because the truth is, we will die. We might die tomorrow. We might die of coronavirus. A plane might fall from the sky. A hurricane might hit. And it's a natural human response, no? Because we don't have an answer. What does death mean? We can't perceive it because we've never experienced it. When we start to know ourselves, we start to find a place that we feel eternal. And that's the only cure for fear of death. And to live wrapped in a blanket of love consciousness is the greatest thing that can happen. So how do I get to that point where I am surrendered, where I am surrendered to die? I have to cultivate so much love that I'm ready for everything. The only true cure for fear of death is death or enlightenment. But we can certainly go beyond the fear because it's the thoughts. We're not in the moment. We're not embracing the here now. If you're thinking, you're alive. So come back here now and stop worrying about what might happen. And see another thing. In this moment it's death, and then it could be poverty, or it could be age, or it could be loss. Fear's fear. We have to go beyond fear through the elevation of love consciousness. And that's what the system's for. You go beyond the fear of not being authentic. You go beyond the fear of speaking your truth. You go beyond the fear of everything because you have to feel well with you. Free to be you. That's the most important thing. So death's a big thing. Let's take baby steps and start doing different things. I'm going to anchor in consciousness. I'm going to speak my truth. I'm going to anchor in consciousness. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to anchor in consciousness. I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to anchor in consciousness. I'm going to take off my masks. I'm going to anchor in consciousness. I'm going to walk my walk from my heart, not from my need for approval. And by the time you finish walking, the fear of death will disappear because it's an illusion.
Kata from Chile asks, can you talk about the thoughts when they invade? How not to pay attention to the head and how to choose the love instead of fear?
Well, when you've cultivated a certain amount of consciousness, which is through the system, no? You start to witness the thoughts. And you start to see they're like the parrots in the witnessing, no? They're just there. And you have to start laughing at them. You know, when you're in a forest and there's parrots screaming, are you trying to listen to each parrot? Why? What's that one saying to that one? Why did he say that? Why is that one screaming louder? So where is my attention? It's in the noise. The noise is unimportant. It changes all the time. But it's a great signal to go in. I am going to close the door to that noise because I am inside my house. In my house, there's silence. I can hear the noise, but it's distant. And it's not really worthy of my attention because I have this silence. I keep coming back to this silence. I keep witnessing the parrots, but I'm witnessing them.
Karina asks, can you tell the difference in between pushing the others or wanting the others to change?
Well, I think it's very clear. When you're pushing someone to grow, you have the capacity to let go. So you reflect and you let go. You're not attached to a result. But when you're just insisting, and you won't let go, you're attached to a result. I want you to change. You need to change. I'm trying to make you happy. You can't make anyone happy. I can't make anyone happy. I can give them a reflection, and then I let go. And then I give a reflection, and then I let go. But people have to self-reflect. If they don't self-reflect, they don't find the answers. And if the answers don't come from within, they feel as if they're being subservient, trying to appease. And that never works either. I need you to change. so I can be happy. It can't be like that. This is what I would do. You can choose to change or no.
Pamela from Chile asks, first to give you thanks for this energy and love in this production. I feel bad because I used to tell myself that, oh, I wish a disaster like this will make people stop everything to start from zero or change from the root. At the beginning, anyway, I was afraid. But I feel a surrender to whatever has to happen. Is that normal?
Well, it's a judgment, no? You have a judgment with humanity. And it's an easy thing to have because humans are crazy. But I'm also a human. And I know I'm crazy as well. Yes, we need to change. Maybe we'll change. Maybe we won't. We never have. But little bit by little bit, we're changing. We're starting to see that we have to change if we want to keep surviving as we are. And this is a good thing. But you have to let go of the judgment because everything's just love and evolution. And it's an interesting thing because everywhere in the world, the one thing that's having a big revival is nature. It's incredible. You know, there's animals in the street. The pollution's lifted. Everything's calm. So nature has the capacity to rejuvenate or regenerate and regenerate. Do we? I think we have to take this seriously, what's happening, and really start to look at the changes we can make. And some people will. And some people won't. But así es la vida, no? The only thing important is what you choose. If you don't like what you see, you change it. Don't try to change the world. Just change your world.
Tito is asking,
Tito.
Tito, can you talk more about the image? I don't understand that concept.
You know, image is a fake personality that we demonstrate to the world. We act submissive or we act arrogant. But the point is we're acting. We show people what we think they'll like. But it's not based in truth. I'm not talking about your clothes or how you do your hair or how you look after yourself. It's about how you're being. Are you being vulnerable? Are you being transparent? Are you being powerful? Or are you pretending to be someone that you're not? Super confident, afraid of nothing. I used to do that. Not because of arrogance, because I couldn't tolerate to be perceived with fear. But I knew there was fear. So I learned that in order to go beyond that, I had to be 100% vulnerable. I had to show myself with all my fears, all my frailties, and that was such a freedom. Because the minute you're willing to look stupid, you're free. If you're no longer looking for approval, you're free. Free to be you. And then to evolve. Because once you know yourself, You can change yourself. The perfection of free choice. That's what we have. The capacity to change. But first we have to see reality and transform it internally. It's not a new act. It's not a new character. First I was arrogant, now I'm spiritual. It doesn't work either. You just have to be an authentic being. And it doesn't look either way. It just is. It's just natural.
Alejandro is asking. You talk about consciousness as a path of faith. Can you talk more about it?
You know, we have to step through many fears without any guarantees to be true to our own hearts. So sometimes we have to take a step without a parachute. And that's very hard for humans, to be true to themselves. Consciousness gives you that internal strength, that internal trust, because that energy starts to connect you to something much more powerful, and that's unconditional love. Once you connect with that energy, you have the capacity to walk through doors and you can't see what's on the other side. You have the capacity to walk right to the edge and to jump without knowing what will happen. And this comes from faith. Faith in yourself. Faith in life. Faith in love. Faith in existence. And the minute you start to do that, the power, the strength starts to grow. You know, love is power. It's the greatest power. People don't understand that because they can't see it. It's not tangible. It's not something you can put in the bank. You can feel a little bit. But when that starts to become a force, you know it's the most important thing that exists. So the experience of love is beyond anything. It starts within you, and then it moves out into everything. And then you see, it's all the same. And it's forever changing. And this too will pass.
Maria Teresa from Chile. Hi, Isha. Can you talk about the exigence? I would love to enjoy and have fun with what I do, but always I have that exigence over myself.
Well, you know, we do this because nothing's good enough. You know, maybe in our families, it didn't matter what we achieved. It was never good enough. And it's a place of suffering. We do it on purpose. We cannot see or appreciate ourselves. So we work so hard to achieve something, but it's never good enough. It doesn't matter what I achieve, it's never good enough. Why? Because we don't think we deserve. And that's what we have to heal. When you heal that, you do your best in every moment, and you don't live with that fanaticism, no. Betsy's finding this very boring. She's snoring like you can't imagine. That's the dog, by the way.
Ernesto is asking. I felt very relaxed practicing, and I even fall asleep. Why think in this facet I fall asleep? Is wrong that?
Because you like my dog. You think they're boring. You know, we go so deep that we go into such a profound depth. And it's very normal we fall asleep. Why? Because we're tired. We never stop. We're always running. And when you unify, you start to heal on a cellular level. It's incredible the healing that transpires. And it's very exhausting for the body because everything's changing. Everything's upgrading. So it's natural that you fall asleep. It's very natural. So just allow it to be. You know, I always say, if always when you unify laying down you fall asleep, try sitting. And if you fall asleep sitting, you need to sleep. You know, don't fight against your reality. And don't think that it's not working. It's working perfectly.
Karina is asking. I have been observing and I have been reflected that the part of me complicates everything. It's as if I need to complicate everything, and sometimes things are simpler. But I get attached to fixed ideas of what I have to do. How to break with this strong pattern?
You can feel an energy. When you start to create drama, what happens? You start to feel this energy, no? You start to feel frustrated, accelerated. It starts to create drama. So you see that. So you have to stop. You have to stop. Go in and just say to yourself, I feel like this because I'm complicating everything. I need to let go. And just let go. Let go and trust. Just let go and trust. That's the easiest thing to do. I'm here. Nothing's happening. I'm getting too involved. I'm making drama. I'm causing friction. And I need to enjoy this moment. Stop. Facet. Let go.
Jessica from Peru. First of all, thanks from my heart. What do you recommend to do the facets with a better concentration and focus?
You know, the facets are not about concentration. Because concentration's about the intellect. And we're not here for our intellects. We're here to surrender to our hearts. And that's a big difference. I have to let go of control. It doesn't matter how I breathe. Just let go. I think the facet. I leave a space, like the waves at the beach. I'm not trying to control anything. I'm surrendering. This is a tantric system. It allows everything to move through. I don't have to rigidly train my mind to do something. I need to surrender to my heart. Here's my heart. It's like a deep pool. I just have to float there. Oh, I'm floating. Here I am. Oh, I'm going to think of facet. Oh, good, that takes me a little bit deeper. I don't have to walk on top of the water and facet, 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 facet. How many did I do? What does that cause? Stress. Oh, I need to let go. I need to float. I need to just sink into consciousness. Just think the facet. Leave a space. Sometimes it's short. Sometimes it's long. It doesn't matter. Here I am, surrendering.
Esther from Argentina is asking, one of your facets talk about ignorance. What is for you ignorance?
It's the incapacity to perceive self. It's the incapacity to self-observe, to be a robotic being that just reacts and responds because of a program. This is ignorance. And it's 99.9% of humanity, because we've been trained to respond and react to what's happening internally. Our stresses, our anguishes, our resentments, they're all there. They're all there. So instead of being completely present and witnessing, we're just responding. And often, the things that we choose to do make us suffer. You know, I know that my liver's bad. If I keep drinking, it's going to get worse. I know that I have a problem with my lungs. If I keep smoking, it's going to get worse. I'm so stressed with that. You know, this is ignorance. I know this is destructive, but it's the thing I want the most. Why? Because I don't love myself. When I start to be a conscious being, I start to choose things that nourish me, that nourish my heart, nourish my body, nourish my existence, nourish my family, nourish my friends, nourish my world. When I'm ignorant, I'm just another victim repeating the same words over and over again.
Karina's asking, I think I don't want to be with my partner, but I'm not sure. I don't know if I want to separate. We have 2 children and common project, but I don't know. I'm very confused. Can you help?
Unify. Go in. Start giving praise, love and gratitude. And if still you're clear that you don't want to be there, let go. But don't sit in between. Just get clear. Either commit or let go. Give 100% or let go. And don't stay because of convenience. Don't stay because of fear. Stay because your heart wants to stay. Don't compromise. If you compromise, you'll never enjoy the relationship. And the children see that.
How can I love something I reject from myself?
There's nothing wrong with anyone. And if you reject something, you can't go beyond it. You have to surrender to it. You have to embrace it. You have to stop making it so important. And just let it go. That's all you have to do. If you're rejecting it, you're giving it power. If you're changing it, you're giving it freedom to transform. Whatever I don't love, I allow it to transform. Don't fight with it. And if you can't change it, if it's an aspect of you that can't be changed, just love it unconditionally. You know, we all have aspects we don't like. We're human. Thank love for my human experience in its perfection.
Belen is asking, hi, I think people doesn't like me,
Oh well.
especially at work. And I don't like much people. What is happening with me?
Maybe you should get a job in a zoo. It might be easier for you. You know, the thing is, there's so many judgments. Start praising the people. Start giving to them. Stop separating. Why do they not like you? Because you don't like them. It's a mirror. You have to let go. You have to be the actions of what you wish to perceive. But you're in a victim stance. You pull yourself away, they don't like me. And like a child, and I don't like them either. It's pretty immature, no? Is that how you want to live? So change. Give. Focus on praise, love and gratitude. And remember, they're your mirrors. They're your mirrors.
Erika from Chile. Hi everyone. Because my profession and activities, I guided relaxation for others. But even all my effort, I cannot let go of my thoughts. And I connect, but in very short periods. Is something else I can do?
You know, thoughts are not important. You're focusing on them. And it's just stress leaving. You have an idea of how you should be. I should be in this silence, this place of no thoughts. That's what you're expecting. But you have to cultivate something bigger than your thoughts. So you can just sit there. Peace witnesses. It doesn't matter if there's thoughts. It doesn't matter if there's traffic. It just is. Stop having an expectation of how it needs to look. That's another place of exigencia, no? Oh, if I was experiencing peace, there'd be no thoughts. If there's no thoughts, you're probably dead.
The focus on the path to enlightenment as an objective can go, is compatible with maternity, the maternity or paternity, because for both is necessary dedication, energy, and surrender.
Well, the thing is, enlightenment lets go of attachment. It's not easy, no? It's not easy to let go of attachment if you have little kids, because you're always protecting them. You can let go of the fear. It's not about abandoning anything. It's about what you're choosing in each moment. You have to get to a point in your life, if you really want to get enlightened, that's the most important thing. And people go through stages, and you can keep cultivating consciousness. But you have to get to a point where it's the only thing that's important. And if it's like that, you can do it anywhere. It's not about removing yourself, because you can sit in a cave on the top of a mountain and still be worried about the kids and the wife, because you've still got attachment. Or they can be sitting in front of you and you can be completely focused on consciousness, love, and giving. People have concepts of how it needs to look. Look at the Buddha. He left everything and he went in the exact opposite direction. He was so rigid, violent, starved himself, destroyed his body, lived in the forest. It was incredible what he did. And he came from the exact opposite. Abundance, luxury. He was a prince. And he had to find a middle path. And you have to find a middle path. I let go of attachment, but I anchor in love. And I let go with love. Is it easy? No. But you can do it. You can do anything. It doesn't have a format. It's a focus. It could be anything. It could be anywhere. Can you do it by yourself? That's hard. You need something. You need a north. And firstly, you have to go in.
Artur is asking, you say it's very important to heal the relationship with our parents. And like that, we are healing the relationship with ourselves. I don't have any relationship with my parents. I'm indifferent. I don't care. I'm distant from them. Do you think I have to change that?
Well, you do have a relationship. You're indifferent and you're far from them. You know, you have to realize something. You are your parents. Everything you reject about them is an aspect of yourself. In fact, you're encaged by your parents because you don't have the door open. The door's shut. You're the one in a jail. You have a very severe relationship. And you have to open the door and have a profound look at yourself. Because everything that we reject, in some way, is an aspect of ourselves that we can't love. So yes, you don't have to physically heal the relationship with your parents, but you do have to let go of the judgments. And believe me, your parents are like God. They're everywhere. Huh? You work for your parents. You give birth to your parents. You date your parents. You are your parents.
I have a low self-esteem. And always I think other people are prettier, more interesting, more intelligent. I'm very insecure. I feel ugly and it's difficult to confront. I'm afraid of disapproval, and I think I'm too big. I'm 39 years old. Can you help me?
Well, the only way now is up. Because really, you're at the bottom, no? Is there anything you like about yourself? It doesn't matter. Stop comparing. You are unique and perfect exactly as you are. Everyone is. There's not one that's better or worse. So you have to go in and you have to find that perfection and you have to let go of your judgments. Because they're internal. They're not external. It doesn't matter how you look. If you don't love yourself, it's never good enough. Nothing's ever good enough. And when you start to love yourself, you can see your own beauty. You can see your own perfection. You discover your own power. And everyone has a unique power. Every human has something to give. So you have to start internally. Well, at least you're seeing this, no? You're seeing that you don't love yourself. Great. I didn't love myself either. I had a million judgments. I assumed that everyone was better than me. My masks didn't show it. So you're not very unique on that level. All humans have that. And we all have to heal it. We have to heal that. And it's inside.